Good afternoon. Welcome to day two of the National Toyota Jubilee and Shelley Trophy competitions live here from the King George V Field here in St. John's. Lining up, we have in red, the traditional red and gold, we have Holy Cross Kirby Group in their opening contest, losing to Alberta by a score of 5-2. Okay, I'll just pause for a moment as I hear the music in the background. Okay, again, in the red and gold, we have Newfoundland and Labrador being represented by Holy Cross FC, playing out of St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. And wearing the white and black, it's BC Central Breakers FC, playing out of Surrey, British Columbia. Yesterday in the opening contest, it was British Columbia defeating Manitoba by a score of 2-1. It was Newfoundland and Labrador losing to Edmonton Scottish representing Alberta by a score of 5-2. Earlier today, I took in a game at Mount Pearl where I felt it was somewhat of an upset. It was New Brunswick defeating Alberta rather in good fashion. It seemed to be New Brunswick were rather impressive. Final score 2-1 for New Brunswick over Alberta. This sets the stage here right now where it's 3 points for British Columbia and 3 points today in today's match. And that means to go a show that anything can transpire in this division with New Brunswick and Alberta also having 3 points. Again, in a short series, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and obviously we know what occurs should you get a loss. Also, a point of interest in these tournaments are that plus and minus may be critical. It may determine actually who plays off for what position. It could even determine who plays off for gold or any medal, be it bronze or any of the seedings. So it's critical. Not only is the outcome win-loss column critical, plus minus may be very critical, and none other than what I've witnessed so far with 3 wins for various clubs in this division. Again, with the white jerseys on, predominantly white, it's BC Central City Breakers, FC, playing out of Surrey, and with the red and gold, playing out of St. John's, representing Newfoundland and Labrador, it's Holy Cross Kirby Group. Very critical game for Holy Cross. Goalie for Holy Cross, who took the red card, Sam Hocko, late in the contest at the 90-minute mark. Sam was suspended for 2 games. It's official, 2 games. Here we have Kyle Williams. The ball's been centered. Kyle Williams scoring 2 goals yesterday for Holy Cross. Ball put it right in through the 18-yard box. Starters for British Columbia. Just wait momentarily where there's a corner here. It's Matt Breen. Very difficult. The sun is right in our eyes here in the broadcast booth. Matt puts the ball right through the 6-yard box, and it's cleared by British Columbia. Again, British Columbia defeating Manitoba yesterday by a score of 2-1. Nice ball by British Columbia earlier here, and a good defensive play by Owen McLeish. Backtracking for British Columbia is our Harry Lacken, passing it back to his goalie, Luke O'Shea. Ball is placed back to O'Shea, again wearing the predominantly a light color gray. Luke O'Shea, goalkeeper for British Columbia. Ball's been put by Harry Carter, number 7 for Holy Cross, and a foul on Carter, and a free kick coming up for British Columbia. Number 3 lining up for British Columbia, Brendan Campbell, and puts the ball in deep, and it's cleared by Alec Pretty. Taken by Tyler Kirby. Bonacile tried to get the ball, but again, it's British Columbia shooting from way outside and replacing Jack, that will be Hocko, Sam Hocko in goal for Holy Cross today is Jack Haywood. Jack Haywood played Canada Games 2 years ago, sort of been the understudy to Thomas Pearway for 2 years with the Holy Cross team. And this season, again, sort of playing backup. But I've seen him play a major role with the Canada Games. That would have been 3 years ago, actually, now. Here in midfield, we have number 10. We have Bobby Jody taking the ball again. It's British Columbia. And we have Haywood getting his fist on the ball, and a nice defensive play by Owen McLeish. British Columbia early making moves where we have Mike O'Brien moving the ball to center, and is stolen by British Columbia. Ball's been taken by Pretty. Pretty again to Bonesteel, number 16. For British Columbia, put in the middle to Owen McLeish. McLeish outside to Jake Warren on the right side for Holy Cross. As Holy Cross deep into British Columbia territory, and the ball is ridden off by a BC defender over the goal line, and we have a second corner kick coming up for Holy Cross. Again, you're tuning into Toyota National Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George to Fifth Field in St. John's. With it's another beautiful evening. Wind factor practically nil. Temperatures rather cool, maybe 6 degrees or so. Here we have Matt Breen lining up at the corner, putting it in through the 6-yard box where it's been cleared by a BC defender. Breen putting the ball back in, and again it's cleared. Cleared to midfield, center field, where we have Alec Pretty. Pretty attempting to go to number 4, O'Brien, where we have it's Nice ball by Haywood. Haywood coming deep outside of his territory, predominantly the 18-yard line and inside. He outside. It was Jack coming out to 20 yards. Here we have Tyler Kirby looking to go long to Jake Warren, and it's intercepted by British Columbia. 4 minutes gone by in the contest, no score, live at King George the Fifth Field here. The ball's been put inside by Sinan Bezdrob, and again it goes out it over the goal line with a goal or a corner kick coming up for British Columbia. 5 minutes into the contest, both teams sort of just feeling each other out. Number of fans coming in. A lot of fans of Newfoundland and Labrador were watching the two Jubilee teams in action at Topsail Field. Don't have the final score on that yet. Here is British Columbia deep inside, and the ball is being cleared by McLeish, where it appears to be a whistle on the play with a free kick coming up for Newfoundland and Labrador, again being represented by Holy Cross Kirby Group. It's goalkeeper Jack Haywood lining the ball up at the 9-yard line, pushing the ball to the right side, and it goes out of touch. Don't know. Seems the players are trying to indicate maybe they want a new ball. It appears they want a new soccer ball. Ball's been handed over to the fourth official. Here we have Andrew Stanford. Andrew Stanford looking to go along to Harry Carter, and again it goes out of touch, where we have Brendan and Campbell throwing the ball in for British Columbia. British Columbia looking to go long, where is intercepted by Mike O'Brien. Here we have Jake Warren, and Warren is in there, I guess, stepped into, but a referee allowing the game, the play to go on. Here we have, again, we have O'Brien. Nice play by O'Brien. O'Brien taking possession, dribbling the ball, pushing the ball outside right to Tyler Kirby. Kirby attempting to go around to Shane Satar. And the ball pushed to the left side, where it's intercepted in by Holy Cross. And it's cleared by BC defender. 15 for Ajit Baines, clearing the ball for British Columbia, where again goes out of touch off a Holy Cross player, and it's number 2, Shane Satar, retrieving the ball with a throw-in. Again, you're tuning into Toyota National Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George the Fifth Field here in St. John's. On again, just a fall, nice Thanksgiving Day week, I guess, as we approach Thanksgiving Day. What a day for players on the field. Absolutely beautiful. No wind, kind of chilly for fans. But the players, it's great temperature for players. Ball's been taken by British Columbia. It's number 6 again is Mamadai Kamara. With the ball been taken by British Columbia. And just wide over the Newfoundland and Labrador net. Good shot to get the player to turn. It was taken by Mamadai Kamara, number 6, tall, lanky, British Columbia player. Standing right by the number 6 for Newfoundland and Labrador, Owen McLeish. Here we have, ball's been taken by Braden Campbell for British Columbia, passing it to his counterpart player, Harry Lacken. Back to keeper, where it's pushed long to center field. Ball's been taken by Harry Carter again. It's Kamara pushing the ball to Zinan Bezdrob. And it goes out of touch, where we have a throw-in coming for Holy Cross. 9 minutes of action have gone by. Ball's been thrown in by Harry Carter. with Newfoundland Labrador, and it's cleared by Andrew Stanford, and it goes way at over the touchline here, just in front of the press box. Here we have Brendan Campbell throwing the ball in, intercepted and taken by Derek Bossy. Hey, we have a player on the field for Holy Cross, number 2. Appears to have taken the ball in the midsection. Good quality soccer on the go here in Newfoundland Labrador, as the NLSA are hosting the Canadian Soccer Association, the Toyota National Challenge Trophy and Jubilee Championships. 10 senior men's teams and 8 senior women's teams. Men's playing for the Challenge Trophy and the women playing for the Jubilee Trophy. Ball's been taken by Harry Leckham. Push into center field to Bobby Yodi, looking to go along to Zenan Bezdrob. And we have number 3 stepping in, Brendan Campbell. Campbell being challenged by Jake Warren. Ball's been pushed over to Caleb Clark and intercepted by Mike O'Brien. O'Brien putting the ball to Tyler Kirby. But again, it was the running of British Columbia, stealing the ball right off the foot of Kirby. And in possession off the ball for British Columbia, we have Derek Bossy. Nice overlap here by number 8 as we have number 3. And a good defensive play as we had Brendan Campbell moving in. And it was pretty at the last moment as British Columbia were approaching the 6-yard box. It goes at a touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Moving in for the throw-in, we have Brendan Campbell. Campbell looking to go long. It's right to the 6-yard box where it goes at a touch. And again, it's Brendan Campbell with a throw-in. Nice defensive play by British Columbia or by Newfoundland Labrador. Here we have Kyle Wims back from his offensive position, helping out in midfield. Nice ball by Bonesteel, but it was blocked by Derek Bossy for British Columbia. Again, in the white and blue, it's predominantly white, it's British Columbia. And in the red and gold, it's Holy Cross Kirby grouping representing Newfoundland and Labrador. Good number of fans showing up now on the shore. A lot of those fans were at the Topsail Field in CBS where both Newfoundland Jubilee teams played. Here we have British Columbia stepping inside, and again it's a nice save coming by Haywood off the boot of Jack Bossy, or Derek Bossy. Nice save here. Jack Haywood looking strong here in the early goings as we approach the 14-minute mark here live at the King George V ballpark here in St. John's, the main venue of the National Toyota Tournament here in senior men's and senior women's Challenge Trophy Jubilee Trophy competition. The ball's been taken by British Columbia way wide of or high on the Newfoundland Labrador goal, where Jack Haywood puts the ball in midfield, taken by Tyler Kirby, looking by Mike O'Brien to go long, where it's intercepted by Harry Lecken. Nice ball here. We have Holy Cross moving inside, where we have Jake Warren coming up with a great shot by Jake Warren and a fabulous save by goalkeeper for British Columbia, Luke O'Shea. O'Shea coming up with the first big save off this contest, coming at the 14-minute mark. off the boot of Jake Warren. Off the hands of the goalie, and we have another corner kick coming up for Holy Cross. Again, it's Matt Breen. Again, Breen putting the ball in deep into British Columbia territory, where it's the British Columbia goalie, Luke O'Shea, getting his hand on the backhand, and again it's O'Shea. And it's Holy Cross coming so ever close. Good run down. The ball is being turned over with a good save. Good defensive block here by Matt Breen. Good fans appreciating the defensive running of Matt Breen. Slide and tackle, taking any offensive threat away from this British Columbia team. 15 minutes have gone by, no score. British Columbia in control at center field, where we have Derek Bossy pushing the ball to left wing, where it's number 9, Maled Maharai, being challenged by Mike O'Brien. The ball goes out of touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Ball has been thrown in. Again is Holy Cross defender Andrew Stanford, taking no chances whatsoever, getting his boot on the ball and just getting it out of the 18-yard box. Goes over the touchline with another corner or a throw-in coming up for British Columbia. Ball's been thrown into Shane Satar. Again, another attempt for a shot on goal by British Columbia, where it's Jack Haywood going down on all fours, making a rather nice save, but he had the ball all the way. Again, it's British Columbia in center field. British Columbia pushing the ball out to Brendan Campbell. Back to Mamadai Kamara, where it's stopped by Harry Carter to Pretty. Attempting to go to Jake Warren, and is stolen by British Columbia. Here we have Andrew Stanford stepping in midfield, passing the ball to Isaac Bonus. Steal for Holy Cross, where we have it's again a slide and tackle, and a British Columbia player on the field, where we have Mamada Kamara moving inside of the 6-yard box. And it went right through the 18-yard box. And the player, got his foot on the ball. Number 9 is Maled Maharbai, scoring at the 17-minute marks. Goal coming at the 17-minute mark here for British Columbia. Number 9. British Columbia just getting his foot on the ball. Ball was put right through the 18-yard box. Jack Haywood trying to get from one side of the net to the other side, and the ball just went off of Haywood's hands on into the corner of Holy Cross goal. Again, Holy Cross falling behind here this evening. Yesterday evening it was Holy Cross falling behind in the first 15 minutes off the contest, 2-0 to Alberta. And before halftime, it was Holy Cross coming back for a 2-2 tie. But it makes it much more difficult when you obviously are playing the game from behind. The opponents tend to get more comfortable, more competent, more confident. And the energy level goes up for the team with the goal. Well, at times, it may deflate the team that has been scored on. BC player still on the field here. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Jubilee Trophy Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George to Midfield here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, where we have in white and blue, we have it's British Columbia Central City Breakers FC playing out of Surrey. While in the red and goal, we have Holy Cross Kirby Group playing out of St. John's, representing Newfoundland and Labrador. 1-0. One to nothing for British Columbia. The goal scorer was Bilad Mahibrai, scoring at the 17-minute mark. Ball's been taken by Holy Cross. Mike O'Brien put in center to Matt Breen. Breen to Bonesteel. Pushing the ball to Tyler Kirby. Back to Bonesteel. Bonesteel clears it back to his defense. Andrew Stanford. Stanford to Harry Carter. Carter to McLeish. McLeish to Matt Breen. And the ball's been stolen by British Columbia. British Columbia stepping inside of the 18-yard box. Again, it's Miled Mahebrai. Mahebrai pushing the ball to the corner. Defended well by Holy Cross, where the ball has been kicked by it's Milad Mahebrai, and it goes over Holy Cross goal, and it goes coming up with a goal kick for Jack Haywood in goal for Newfoundland and Labrador. The ball's been taken by Stanford to McLeish. Old ball's intercepted here again by British Columbia. British Columbia again moving in where we have Zena Bezdrob attempting a shot, and it's easily cleared and saved by Holy Cross. Holy Cross moving in again. And it's the defense where I look at the numbers of British Columbia players. Right back playing defense, 4 defenders and 2 from their midfield, causing all kinds of havoc for any offensive threat that Newfoundland and Labrador are trying to generate. Ball's been taken by 22 for Nicholas Morella for British Columbia. Placed back where it's Bobby Joti. And it's intercepted by Jake Warren. Ball goes at a touch where we have a throw-in coming up for British Columbia. Nicholas Morello looking to go long. Nice throw-in where we have Andrew Stanford stepping in for Holy Cross, touching the ball, and again it's another throw-in. Here we have Zenan Bezdrob, where it's been shot coming from midfield here for British Columbia, but again nowhere near the net. Holy Cross again, goalkeeper for Holy Cross in today's match, Jack Haywood. Replacing Sam Hocko. Sam picked up a red card yesterday, and as a result has been suspended by Canadian Soccer for this tournament for 2 games. Ball's been taken by number 7, Harry Lackham. Place to Mamadai Kamara. Looking to go long for British Columbia, where it's Mamadai Kamara. British Columbia again looking for possession in midfield. Off number 8 here, Zenan Bezdrob, where it goes out of the touch, and we have a throw-in coming for Newfoundland and Labrador. Harry Carter throwing the ball in, where it's Jake Warren looking to go long. And right to the defenders here. Shane Satar. Back to goalkeeper here, Luke O'Shea. Pushed in midfield to Bobby Joti. And it goes over the touchline where we have again a throw in coming for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George V Field here in St. John's, where you have British Columbia leading Holy Cross, representing Newfoundland and Labrador by a 1-0 score. Here we have Stanford pushing the ball to Jake Warren. Good running by Jake Warren. Jake Warren, nice step over. Good skill being shown by Warren. Warren with 3 British Columbia players, and it's the 4th British Columbia player picking up the ball. And a nice defensive play here by Newfoundland and Labrador, Owen McLeish, number 6. Here we have Tyler Kirby. Kirby inside too. Jake Warren just probably one step behind the play was Warren, and it goes into goalkeeper Luke O'Shea. O'Shea pushing the ball to Bobby Yodi. British Columbia moving the ball rather nice in midfield. Here we have again number 9 stepping inside, whereas Milad Mahabrai been blocked by Andrew Stanford. Stanford pushing the ball to Isaac Bonesteel. Bonesteel to his outside right wing back, Mike O'Brien. O'Brien pushing the ball to Tyler Kirby. Ball's been stolen from Kirby, and again it's British Columbia. 6 back at all times when Holy Cross are on the attack. Ball's been pushed to Nicholas Morello. Morello to Bobby Yoti, pushing the ball outside where it's again British Columbia. Seem to be running rather well. Where the ball's been pushed by Holy Cross to Jake Warren, and again Warren has been outmanned. Again we have Harry Carter pushing the ball back to Jack Haywood. Haywood to Harry Carter. Carter to Jake Warren. Warren looking for some movement. Good work by Jake Warren to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams scoring 2 goals for Holy Cross yesterday and been blocked by number 22, Nicholas Morello. Holy Cross calling a substitution. Coming in for Holy Cross, we have Jacob Grant. And Jacob is replacing number 10, Tyler Kirby. 27 minutes have gone by, and we have a 1-0 score for British Columbia. British Columbia again being represented by team playing out of Surrey. Central City Breakers. We have a shot taken on goal by Newfoundland and Labrador. Easily saved by Luke O'Shea. In goal for British Columbia. British Columbia pushing the ball in midfield where we have Bobby Yoti pushing the ball to center back, looking to go long, where it's intercepted by Harry Carter. Carter, as he attempts to go to be it Matt Breen, Jake Warren, it goes out of touch. Ball's been put in play by a throw-in as we have Isaac Bonesteel in midfield. Ball's been stolen by Caleb Clark. Again, we have British Columbia trying to formulate. Great movement in midfield, and again, good execution inside of the 18-yard box. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Senior Men's Challenge Trophy competition, live from the King George V Field here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. We have Harry Carter being challenged by Zinan Beznov, and it goes out of touch where we have again a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Moving up on the play, we have Nicholas Morello. Morello just in front of the bleachers there, looking for this long throw. Again, this Morello right into the 6-yard box and is cleared by the defense for Holy Cross. Here we have Jacob Grant. The ball goes at a touch off a British Columbia player. And a throw-in coming for Holy Cross. Again, Holy Cross wearing the red jersey, gold stripes, rather gold trimmings as their numbers and stripes on their shorts, as well as some gold trimming on their socks as well. And here we have again British Columbia. Looking at the statistics today of British Columbia, British Columbia started off with 63 teams vying for the right to represent British Columbia. Wonder why those Big Four get the powerful teams. Here we have Jake Warren. Back to Jacob Grant. Grant with the left foot as he attempts to get his first shot at the contest, and it goes off a BC defender with a corner kick coming up for Holy Cross. 30 minutes have gone by, 1-0. British Columbia in the lead over Newfoundland and Labrador representative Holy Cross Kirby Group. Matt Breen lining up for the corner. Matt putting the ball right into the 6-yard box, where it's a beautiful save by Luke O'Shea. O'Shea got his fist on the ball. Fans kind of saw something that I didn't. They were yelling at the official. Play went on where we have its own McLeish, Mike O'Brien formulating. Looking to get some execution for offense to Isaac Bonastil, where it's been blocked by Milad Mahaiba. Ball has been put in the corner, where it's a nice defensive play by British Columbia. We have Ajit Beans. Ball been taken by Holy Cross. We have Isaac Bonastil. And again, it's Holy Cross been taken away by Derek Bossy. British Columbia moving in, creating good speed as the ball's been put back in midfield. British Columbia trying to get a 1-2 strike execution, and the ball goes off a Holy Cross defender, Harry Carter, where it goes over the goal line with a corner kick coming up for British Columbia. Moving in for the corner for British Columbia, we have Milad Mahaibai, and he's been replaced by Zinan Bedrobe. Ball's been taken, placed in the corner, put right deep inside, where it's been punched away by Haywood. And we have Jacob Grant. Fans starting to cheer out, trying to get their team to get some offensive movement on the field. Here we have number 22, Nicholas Morello, throwing the ball in deep for British Columbia. Right inside it, where's the 18-yard line, where we have number 6, Mamadai Kamara. Kamara inside of the 18. Pushing the ball back to number 2, where is blocked by Holy Cross defender. Execution, and it's defense and ball possession by British Columbia. When they get the ball in center field, they do not hesitate to move the ball right back to their defensive players. Looks like a defensive player for British Columbia on the field at the 34-minute mark. And number 5, Derek Bossy going to the bench. Coming in for British Columbia, we have number 13 coming into the contest is Callum Scott. Callum Scott. Ball's been pushed back to goalkeeper Luke O'Shea. British Columbia goalie putting the ball 22 yards, looking to go long. Mike O'Brien, defensive right wing back for Holy Cross, clearing the ball where it's been taken by Ajit Baines. For British Columbia, and it goes off a Holy Cross player. Again, we have British Columbia moving in. At this point, Holy Cross playing very defensive, where we have number 8 pushing the ball through, and we have a flag on the play here. I'm not quite so sure. Okay. Fall outside of the 8-yard line, not quite so sure. Players were back, so it definitely wouldn't be offside, so it would have been a Holy Cross ball. But anyway, in the referee's judgment, Bobby Yoti lining up for the free kick for British Columbia. British Columbia have 8 players inside of the box. And again, it's Holy Cross defending, but being pressured here in the latter stages, or as we approach 37-minute mark here at King George V Field. Again, you're tuning into National Toyota Jubilee and Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George V Field here in St. John's, where we have Challenge Trophy competition between British Columbia and the representatives from Newfoundland and Labrador Holy Cross Kirby Group. It's Matt Breen, center field for Holy Cross, placing the ball back to Stanford. Stanford to Jake Warren. Pushed inside, and a nice defensive play as we have Matt Breen. Breen saving the ball on the goal line from going out for a corner kick. And we have a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Moving in, we have Nicholas Morello. Morello with the long throw for British Columbia. Looking to put it in anywhere from 9 yards to the 6-yard box. And again, a nice defensive play by Matt Breen. British Columbia again pushing the ball through the box where it's Maled Mahaibai being defended very well by O'Brien. Bryan on a good run with a good challenge from O'Brien, where we have Jacob Grant. Jacob Grant one-on-one against 13, Callum Scott. And we have it's Jacob Grant being taken down, and it's a corner kick on the play. Good run by Jacob Grant here at the 37-minute mark, as we are nearing actually seconds away from 38 minutes. 1-0, British Columbia in the lead. Goal coming at the 17-minute mark by number 9, Malad Hybra. We have Matt Breen in his familiar corner kick position for Holy Cross, putting the ball in. And we have ball been taken by British Columbia. British Columbia trying to catch Holy Cross with players all in the offensive position as we have British Columbia. Again, it's Mamadai Kamarai. Kamara with good skill level as he attempts to go around Harry Carter, and he's been hauled down by Carter, and a free kick coming up for British Columbia. halftime. I'll see if I can get the score between Holy Cross, Avalon, Ford, and Filian Greensleeve in Jubilee Trophy competition. A lot of interest here in Newfoundland and Labrador as the two Newfoundland Jubilee teams were playing earlier today at a 4:30 start in Topsail Field in CBS. Here we have British Columbia pushing the ball right to the 6-yard box where it's cleared by Matt Breen. Blocked by O'Brien to Jake Warren. Jacob Grant. Jacob Grant maintaining possession where we have Owen McLeish. McLeish inside to Kyle Williams. And Kyle Williams, while putting good pressure on British Columbia, generated. And it's ball been taken by Holy Cross. You get a turnover as you create pressure. Here we have a beautiful save here by Alpha Bonesteel coming at the 40-minute mark. Two great saves in the first half by Luke O'Shea, preventing Holy Cross from getting this opening goal and tying the contest. Here we have it's Matt Breen again. With the corner kick for Holy Cross. Breen with a nice ball. Nice ball, and again it's Luke O'Shea getting his fists, hands on the ball, and a good defensive play. And a nice solid play by Alec Pretty. Pushing the ball again to Matt Breen. Breen to Isaac Bonesteel. Bonesteel to Kyle Williams. Pushing the ball again to midfield, Owen McLeish. Owen McLeish putting the ball back to his center back, Andrew Stanford. Stanford to Pretty. Pretty to Matt Breen. Breen putting the ball to outside right back, Mike O'Brien. O'Brien trying to put the ball in, and it's a good blockage and defensive play by British Columbia. It's Mamadai Kamara moving up for British Columbia with a nice ball to the corner, and it goes over the goal line with a goal kick coming up for Newfoundland and Labrador Holy Cross. In goal for Holy Cross again today is Jack Haywood. Haywood is replacing Sam Hocko. Hocko receiving the 2-game suspension as a result of a red card in the opening contest for Newfoundland and Labrador against Alberta. A red card coming at the 90-minute mark, actually on referee's time. Here we have Haywood. Nice goal kick. Right to center field. Jake Warren outside to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams looking to go around where it's good defensive play by number 22, Nicholas Morello for British Columbia. Ball goes out of touch, and again we have a throw-in. Matt Breen very prominent with the throw-ins and corner kicks for Holy Cross. Kirby group. Breen with a good throw-in, but it goes right to on the head of a British Columbia defender. Good play by Stanford to Harry Carter. Beautiful play by Pretty. Pretty back to Carter. Harry Carter working with McLeish. McLeish and Pretty. Pretty looking to go long to Matt Breen and Jake Warren, and stepping in on the play is number 13, Kellum Scott, defender for British Columbia. Again, British Columbia being represented by Central City Breakers FC squad playing out of Surrey. Holy Cross Kirby group playing out of St. John's, representing Newfoundland and Labrador. Ball's been placed long where it's Caleb Clark. Clark pushing the ball again, and a good play here by Mike O'Brien. Bryan putting the ball in Midfield where it's been gobbled up by Morello. And goes over the touchline off a Holy Cross player, and we have a throw-in coming up for, again, British Columbia. Nicholas Morello with a throw-in right to the 18-yard box. And it's cleared by Breen. 1-0. Newfoundland Labrador trailing British Columbia here at the 44-minute mark. British Columbia again. It's Malad Mahebrai. And it's been stolen by Jacob Grant. Grant to Isaac Bonesteel as Holy Cross attempting to go long, and this time it's to Jacob Grant, and it goes way at a distance of Jacob Grant, and it goes over the touchline with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Beautiful night here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. Wind at practically nil. Good temperature on the field as both teams are competing. Very competitive. And we have player being injured in center field here for Holy Cross. Looked to be number 12 to me. Andrew Stanford. Stanford going down rather harsh. 45 minutes showing on the time clock. 1-0 showing on the score clock. British Columbia in the lead. It was goal coming at the 17-minute mark off the boot of my lad, Mahibrai. In goal tonight for Holy Cross, again, it's Jack Haywood. We are now on referee's time. Again, I'll try to get, maybe most of you are after checking the web anyway, try to get the score between the two Newfoundland and Labrador representatives in Jubilee, Holy Cross, Avalon, Ford, and Feely and Greensleeve. Here we have Matt Breen putting the ball in to Jacob Grant, but it's defense. Good defensive play by British Columbia. Ball is off the head of Owen McLeish, cleared by Alec Pretty. Pretty to Jacob Grant. Grant as he attempts to go to Jake Warren. Here we have number 7. We have Harry Lackham. Thought it looked appear to be a corner kick, but again, officials made a goal kick. Luke O'Shea wearing the baby blue stripes in goal for British Columbia. Has played a rather good, solid first half. Ball has been placed by, again, British Columbia with Pretty playing very strong defensively, pushing the ball again in the turnover generated by British Columbia. And a good play here by Mike O'Brien. Again, we're in the dying moments here. British Columbia pressing. British Columbia moving in deep. As we had attempt on goal, shot on goal. And we had a whistle on the play as we have halftime. Good contest, solid contest. Maybe British Columbia carrying as much as 60-40 percentage-wise. But it was British Columbia goalie Luke O'Shea with 2 outstanding saves, keeping the score sheet clean for Holy Cross. 1-0 for British Columbia at halftime. We'll be back after the intermission. Back here live at King George V Park in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. We're the NLSA being host of the National Toyota Challenge Trophy Jubilee Trophy Competition. 1-0 British Columbia in the lead over Holy Cross. Here at halftime, where it's Shane Sater for British Columbia, pushing it back to Luke O'Shea. Goalkeeper for British Columbia. British Columbia starts all back from the goalie to the back line to midfield, where it's Mahabrai in midfield, placing the ball to Harry Lacan. British Columbia maintaining possession in midfield, looking to go long, where it's Andrew Stanford, center back for Holy Cross. Getting his boot on the ball, and it goes way out of touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. 1-0 again for British Columbia. Goal coming in the first half at the 17-minute mark. A good throw-in by British Columbia. British Columbia, what a nice shot! It was number 8 here. It was Zanan Buzendrub shooting, and in goal we have Jack Haywood coming up with a nice save. Haywood putting the ball back into action deep in British Columbia territory. Where is Matt Breen? Jake Warren back to Matt Breen. Breen pushing the ball to left wing to Kyle Williams. Williams placing the ball back to Harry Carter. Harry Carter to Owen McLeish. As Holy Cross are trying to formulate. As we have O'Brien and McLeish. O'Brien being challenged, and little challenged too much, as he had upended Shane Sater, British Columbia player, going to the ground, and a foul called. And we have number 10 lining up for British Columbia, Bobby Jahuti, placing the ball in midfield to Kalam Scott. Scott putting the ball to the right side for British Columbia, and it's been blocked as British Columbia tried to create offense, and it's Harry Carter. But a nice defensive move for Newfoundland Labrador, being represented by Holy Cross Kirby Group. British Columbia being represented by Central City Breakers FC, playing out of Surrey. BC with a long throw in right to the 6-yard box. And again, it's British Columbia trying to get some kind of a shot, but he was surrounded by 4 defenders. Goes over the goal line as number 15, Ajit Baines, attempting a shot on goal. And now we have a corner kick for British Columbia. British Columbia moving in, pushing the ball deep inside, and it's Harry Carter. Alec Pretty. And what a beautiful save by Haywood. Haywood coming up with his best save off the contest, as Sanan Bezdrob shooting with a great shot and a good save here by the Newfoundland keeper, to keeping the score at 1-0. Newfoundland player being hit by British Columbia, and the referee allowed the play to go on. Some of the fans shouting out. Goes over the goal line with a goal kick coming up for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Challenge Trophy Competition live from King George V Ballpark in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador, main venue of this Canadian Soccer Association tournament. Ball been put back in play by Luke O'Shea, put deep in Newfoundland territory, where it's been cleared by Stanford and Alec Pretty, as Pretty was being pressured. He puts the ball at a touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. Earlier today, it was feelings with Newfoundland and Labrador's second representative in Jubilee competition, defeating Newfoundland and Labrador's provincial champions. Newfoundland and Labrador won. Holy Cross Avalon Ford. Sort of a major upset. A lot of talk here at the venue here about that game today, and now here at the pitch about the outcome of that score. Here we have Jacob Grant moving in for Holy Cross. Jacob Grant with a nice ball. As we have Matt Breen at the 20-yard line outside to O'Brien. O'Brien pushing the ball through the 6-yard box. And it's been cleared by number 23 here, Yasin Essa. Ball goes again over the goal line. And we have another corner kick. A lot of corner kicks Holy Cross have had in these two contests. Not a lot to show from the corner kicks. Ball's been pushed away by Luke O'Shea, where it's been taken by O'Brien and Kyle Williams. Luke O'Shea, when called upon here this evening in goal for British Columbia, has stood rather tall. British Columbia with a throw in as we have Mamadai Kamara and Ajit Baines pushing the ball again in offensive movement. Again, it's Mamadai Kamara in midfield for British Columbia in control. Ball's intercepted by Holy Cross, taken by Jake Warren. Jake Warren trying to look for a player, and the ball was stolen by British Columbia. Here we have Matt Breen. Breen inside to Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams on the left wing outside to Jacob Grant. Jacob Grant moving inside and is right into the breadbasket of Luke O'Shea as O'Shea comes up with another quality save here for British Columbia. Holy Cross coming out with a mounting some pressure here in the early goings of the second half. Here we have Shane Satar going long. As we have a foul on the play against British Columbia, number 6 here, Mamadai Kamara. And the referee talking to his players. Good quality officiating in this tournament from what I've seen so far. Here we have Mike O'Brien, number 4 for Holy Cross Kirby Group. O'Brien with a nice boot right into the 18. And again, good defensive play by British Columbia. Here we have Bobby Joti putting the ball as British Columbia. It's Yazan Essa. Yazan with a nice shot here on goal as he attempts to go from 20 yards just high over the Holy Cross goal. And we have Jack Haywood coming up with a goal kick coming up for Holy Cross. Again, the official still talking to a Holy Cross player. Not quite so sure what's on the go. Looks like to be movement. Okay, we have the official going to the side. Holy Cross player coming on the field, or I can't say that yet. It's maybe premature as Holy Cross have players warming up. Jacob Grant looking to go to Jake Warren, and again intercepted by British Columbia. British Columbia led Mahabrai. Mahabrai stepping in with Mahabrai with a good defensive play by O'Brien. And again we have it's British Columbia with the goal post hitting the crossbar, actually Yasin Essa. Yasin Essa coming ever so closely here at the 54-minute mark. British Columbia speed causing all kinds of havoc for the defense of Holy Cross. Ball is in Center field as we have Grant. And again, it's British Columbia. Maled Mahabrai. Mahabrai is fouled. Or it was Sanan Bezdrop stepping in, a foul called on British Columbia. We had Andrew Stanford lining up with the ball for Newfoundland Labrador. Holy Cross going long. Maybe a little too long as it goes way wide of the British Columbia goal, over the goal line, and a goal kick coming up for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Challenge Trophy competition live at the King George Fifth Field here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. We have Luke O'Shea, goalkeeper for British Columbia. Again, supporting the pale blue jerseys, stripes. Ball's been put in center field. Hit it on by Maled Mahabrai. Where again we have Yasin Essa coming ever so close just moments ago. Pushing the ball right across where it's British Columbia attempting another shot on goal, but it's blocked by Newfoundland Labrador, as we have another attempt by Malad Mahabrai to put the ball into Jack Haywood, but it just goes wide. And it goes out of the touch with a throw-in coming for Holy Cross. 56 minutes of action have gone by here at the King George V ballpark. 1-0 score in favor of British Columbia. British Columbia being represented by BC, that's Central City Breakers, playing at a Surrey. Newfoundland Labrador, represented by Holy Cross Kirby Group, playing at a St. John's. British Columbia in at the 30-yard line, trying to make movement. Nice ball by Mike O'Brien. O'Brien putting the ball up to Bonesteel. Bonesteel placing the ball to the left side, hoping Jacob Grant. Jacob Grant with a good run. And it's Luke O'Shea in goal. Again, playing very well defensively as well as goalkeeping, his goalkeeping duties. Here we have Maled Mahabrai again, number 9, moving to the left side. Trying to movement to get around Mike O'Brien. Nice, beautiful ball inside to number 11. And we have 11 with a beautiful finish here. Borasai scoring at the, that'd be the 57-minute mark. 57-minute mark, BC again. And it's Borasai, number 11, scoring for British Columbia. Number 9, it was Malad Mahabrai, causing all kinds of trouble here for the defenders for Holy Cross. But in fact, it was a beautiful finish here by number 11 for British Columbia, Borasai. Here we have Jake Warren being challenged by Sai. Foul on the play. Jake Warren moved the ball rather fast to Owen McLeish. McLeish pushing the ball to left wing where it just goes at a touch, at a reach of Harry Carter. Ball is British Columbia knowing the score here right now as we have Nicholas Morello with a throw-in. Nice long throw-in again. Pushing the ball to Mamadai Kamara. Kamara having a good game here this evening with British Columbia. And it's back to goalkeeper Luke O'Shea. O'Shea puts the ball back into action where it's taken by Holy Cross O'Brien. And again is stolen away from by British by Holy Cross from British Columbia, where it's pretty. Putting the ball back to Haywood. Haywood up to Jake Warren. Warren trying to make movement, and we have appears to be a foul on the play as the linesman putting up the flag. Again, the official doing some talking. Rather talking a little excessively to the players here this evening. Official need to talk right away and then move on. Here we have Holy Cross. It's Stanford going to the bench. Coming into the game is Henderson, John Henderson, number 9. We have a number 23, Yasan Esai. Pushing the ball that goes at a touch, and we had a throw in again. Another throw in coming for Holy Cross. Here we have Henderson. Bonesteel back to Henderson, coming in to the game. Back to Pretty to O'Brien. O'Brien to Harry Carter. Harry Carter making the move, again being stopped by British Columbia. We have Mike O'Brien stepping up as we have Jake Warren preventing the ball from going at a touch. But it's Yasan Essa taking possession, and it goes at a touch where it's a throw in again off a Holy Cross player. Ball's been thrown in, taken by Shane Satar. Satar putting the ball into midfield, where it's again by push back to Maled Mahibrai. Ball has been taken by Yazan Essa. Hey, right now the ball's been put in a nice play here by O'Brien as we had Maled Mahibrai advancing the play. It's been a threat ever since the opening whistle. Good skill level with high quality quickness. British Columbia still controlling the midfield area. Maybe one step too many by Mamadai Kamara. Been blocked and ball pushed again to O'Brien. Left side as we have Kyle Williams. Forever running in this contest. Owen McLeish and Matt Breen. We have a whistle on the play, and we have a free kick coming up for Holy Cross. Hey, we have a yellow card. Yellow card been taken by British Columbia. Referee again constantly speaking to the players. British Columbia setting up a two-man wall. Ball been placed nearing the 40-yard line for Holy Cross as we have Isaac Bonesteel. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George V Field in St. John's, where Holy Cross putting the ball in deep into British Columbia territory, and it's Luke O'Shea taking possession, goalie for British Columbia. British Columbia moving into Holy Cross territory. British Columbia moving back to center field. They're well aware of their 2-0 score lead. Looking for defense first. And then to try to create a turnover where they have a 5-man unit attacking. Midfield, they formulate defense, giving options to their defenders. Here again we have, it's Borasai scoring the second goal for British Columbia. Taking possession and is stolen away by Jacob Grant. Grant attempting to go to Kyle Williams. And again is British Columbia booting the ball away where it's taken by Mike O'Brien, defender for Holy Cross, to Matt Breen. O'Brien looking to go long again to Kyle Williams. And it's British Columbia defense riding Williams off the play, pushing the ball back to Luke O'Shea. Shea putting the ball back into action. It goes to Jacob Grant. Again, the ball has been stolen by British Columbia. Defended well by Alec Pretty. As Pretty puts the ball in midfield to Owen McLeish. McLeish to Mike O'Brien. O'Brien to Pretty. Pretty to Bonesteel as Bonesteel's been pressured. And it's number 11 again is Borasai stepping in. Sai coming in as a substitution, making his presence well known as we have a substitution coming in for Holy Cross. Going to the bench, we have Isaac Bonesteel coming in to play. Looks to be Tyler Kirby. Tyler Kirby back into play. Holy Cross realizing they are desperate at this point. Knowing full well that of their loss yesterday put them behind the 8-ball. Sai pushing the ball to Mamadai Kamarai. Kamarai working with Yasin Essa. Again, it's British Columbia. Mamadai Kamarai as the ball goes into goalie Jack Haywood. Haywood using his defender O'Brien. O'Brien to McLeish to Alec Pretty. Pretty center back for Holy Cross, placing it outside to Henderson. Where's intercepted again by Kamara. Kamara and Yasin Essa work together to Sai, to Kamara. And again is Essa stepping in where it's Holy Cross defense. Again, as we have Holy Cross, Jake Warren trying to generate some sort of offense. And it's a sliding tackle by number 13 here, Callum Scott, for British Columbia, giving British Columbia possession off the ball, and it's cleared by Holy Cross defender Alec Pretty. British Columbia scoring the goal here in the second half at the 57-minute mark, kind of putting that added pressure on the Newfoundland and Labrador representative Holy Cross Kirby group. Hey, we have again, it's Bobby Jahati. Bobby Jahati shooting long range, but it was Haywood answering the call. Haywood to O'Brien. Working with Alec Pretty and Owen McLeish from Newfoundland Labrador with the Holy Cross Kirby group. Here we have Jacob Brandt outside to Matt Breen, and a nice shot by Breen, And as it went to go a little wide, it was Luke O'Shea standing his ground, pushing the ball to number 9, Milad Mahadbrai. And it goes out of touch with a throw-in coming again for British Columbia. British Columbia much in control of this contest, as we have Kamara being stopped by Pretty. We have Tyler Kirby, and it's stepping in for British Columbia. We have Shane Satar, and it goes out of touch with a throw-in coming for, again, Newfoundland and Labrador Holy Cross. Here we have a throw-in, and it goes in, comes off a Shane Satar for British Columbia, and followed up by another throw-in as we have Henderson. Henderson moving, nearing the center line, placing the ball to Jake Warren. Warren being followed by, again, Shane Satar. Okay. Line's been overruled. Informing the official it was a throw-in, and a throw-in it was. We have Henderson moving up in stages, moving up the field with throw-ins. Sean Henderson. Henderson to Jacob Grant. Stolen away again by Yasin Essa. Fall on the play as we had again Milad Mahadbrai. Been very prominent in this match. Foul. It's his enthusiasm and energy and challenging for the ball, causing a foul as we have British Columbia again moving in to the 18-yard line as we have Essa running the field, pushing the ball right back to center field as the ball has been placed outside of Shane Satar. Ball's been kicked to center back. 13 here. Callum Scott. Where Scott works with Boris side to Shane Satar. And Satar runs into Sean Henderson, and it goes out of touch with a throw-in coming for British Columbia. 72 minutes of action have gone by here at King George the Fifth Field, where you're taking in National Toyota Challenge Trophy competition. British Columbia in command, leading the score here 2-0. Nice ball again by British Columbia. British Columbia getting a shot from Yasin Essa, and Jack Haywood entering the bell for Newfoundland and Labrador in goal. It's the running here right now of British Columbia, not allowing Holy Cross any movement whatsoever. Player going down, it's Jake Warren going down for Holy Cross. Referee allowed the play to go on as we have Jacob Grant putting the ball into the 6-yard box. And we had Kyle Williams stepping into British Columbia. What a challenge. One of the strongest challenges I've seen in the tournament. Kyle Williams, very muscular. And British Columbia not backing back one bit. And the ball is thrown in. And we have Kyle. Or it's goes out of touch. And the ball was going to near Matt Breen. And it goes over the touchline as we have British Columbia. Kamara. Sai. Issa. Issa again. Great speed. Pushing the ball to the right side as we have British Columbia moving in. Well, it's a seemed to be a defensive lapse here by Holy Cross. And it's the official, the linesman, indicating that it's a goal kick coming up for Holy Cross. Again, you're tuning in to National Toyota Challenge Trophy competition live from the King George V Field in St. John's. We're British Columbia, represented by Central City Breakers FC squad playing at a Surrey, leading Holy Cross Kirby Group representing Newfoundland Labrador by a score of 2-0. Again, we have British Columbia winning the challenges in midfield. Number 9 again, it's Mahibrai moving inside. And we have Alec Pretty stepping in. Goes off of BC over the goal line where we have a goal kick coming up for Holy Cross. Jack Haywood. Earlier today in Mount Pearl, it was New Brunswick defeating Alberta in Challenge Trophy competition by a score of 2-1. While at Topsail Field in CBS this afternoon, a match that generated a lot of interest here in Newfoundland Labrador, it was Felians, Newfoundland Labrador number 2 representative, defeating Holy Cross Avalon Ford. Newfoundland champions, Jubilee Trophy champions for the 4th consecutive year, winning national bronze in 2007 in Surrey, British Columbia. Coming 4th, seeding 4th last year. So a big win for Felians. Here we have Jacob Grant on the penalty shot area. You know, it was Kirby. Kirby slipping right on the penalty shot area. He was positioned to have a good shot for Holy Cross. But it was, again, the defense. The defense of British Columbia has stood very tall here this afternoon. Corner kicks, Matt Breen. And again, getting the head on the play was Harry Carter. Too many corner kicks in this contest and not to have anything to show on the score sheet. Matt Breen, I haven't counted the number of corners actually Newfoundland Labrador have had here this afternoon, but they must have had somewhere near 12 or so. Here we have Luke O'Shea, goalkeeper for British Columbia. With the ball on the 6-yard box. The ball goes out of touch here where we have Yasin Essa. Essa throwing the ball back to his player Shane Satar. Satar inside to Mamadai Kamara, where we have a foul being called on Shane Satar. "79 minutes of action have gone by here, where we have British Columbia, represented by, again, Central City Breakers, playing at a Surrey, beating the hometown favorites, Holy Cross Kirby Group, representing Newfoundland and Labrador, leading by a score of 2-0. Yesterday it was British Columbia defeating Manitoba by a score of 2-1. And it was Newfoundland and Labrador Holy Cross team losing by a score of 5-2 to Alberta. Holy Cross attempting to go long to Kyle Williams, intercepted by British Columbia again, where we have Zenan Bezdob, and been blocked by Holy Cross defense. And it's a foul called on the play, where we have a free kick coming up for British Columbia. British Columbia, both halves have played rather well, scoring the first goal of the contest in the first half and upping the score in the second half at the 57-minute mark by a 2-0 score. Goalie Luke O'Shea in goal for British Columbia has made 3 outstanding saves. And Jack Haywood has looked rather tall in goal for Holy Cross. Here we have British Columbia again. As they attempt to go high, it's blocked by Jake Warren. Been put inside where we have Kyle Williams. And the ball is taken by Kyle Williams, goes over the goal line with a goal kick coming up for British Columbia. Is Yasin Essa running to the corner. As we have Essa approaching the corner, putting the ball right into the penalty shot area, defended by Holy Cross. It looked to go off of Kyle Williams. And, yeah, we do have another corner kick coming up for British Columbia. Again, you're tuning in to Toyota National Challenge Trophy, Jubilee Trophy competition live from King George V ballpark here in St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. Ball's been taken by British Columbia while they still maintain possession. It's Essa moving inside where we have, again, it's 11 for Borasai, looking to have somewhat of an empty net, but it was defended well by Holy Cross. Here we have Holy Cross on the counter-attack. Jacob Grant. Nice ball by Jacob Grant, but again, it's good running and solid defending as I see 5 British Columbia players sprinting the length of the field, defending, catching Jacob Grant as we have Henderson. Henderson moving up on the play, but again, it's British Columbia defending as Ajit Baines takes possession. Again, it's Yasin Essa to Sai. As we have, again, it's Borasai. Possess great speed, scoring one of the 2 goals for British Columbia. The other goal was scored by, let's see, I'll get the second goal scorer here momentarily. Number 9, okay, it's Milad Mahadbai. Again, as we have British Columbia. Hit striking from near 30 yards. It was Borasai with a great shot, but it was nowhere near the Holy Cross goal. Holy Cross player Michael O'Brien down on the field. Never really quite saw what happened to O'Brien. It's cool enough, and right now you can see the players, Brett, on the field. Official, as he made move, and you can see the Brett of the officials and all the players. Say we're nearing here right now. I'd say at this stage of the evening here, maybe 2 degrees. Okay, Holy Cross. Jeff Slaney coming into play. Veteran Jeff Slaney has been a mainstay with Holy Cross for the past 10 years. Number 15, replacing Mike O'Brien. Here we have Sean Henderson throwing into Tyler Kirby. Some frustration starting to show on the Holy Cross players. But I have liked what I've seen from display by this British Columbia team here this evening at King George V Ballpark. Should the score here hold here this evening, it will be British Columbia with their first 2 games of this national 2019 Toyota Jubilee, Challenge Trophy Championship, winning their first 2 games. But again, as we witnessed last night, a lot can happen in the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, last 1 minute of the contest. Even in referees' time last night, it was a big outcome, big determining factor, red card being issued. We have Jeff Slaney coming in late. Referee issuing him a yellow card as Jeff got his hands on the player from British Columbia. The referee wanting to maintain full control of this game issued a yellow card to Jeff Slaney here at the 87-minute mark. Ball's been taken by British Columbia on a free kick coming up. British Columbia just wanting possession. The best defense for a team is obviously possession, and then outmanning your opponent, whether you're in the defensive side of the field. It's all about ball possession. Again, we have its possession being displayed by British Columbia, with a nice ball being put forward to Milad Mahibrai, and the ball has been placed in deep in Holy Cross 18-yard line, where it's been gobbled up by Jack Haywood in goal for Holy Cross. Kirby Group, Newfoundland, Labrador representative. Again, it's British Columbia. Borasai to Yasin Essa. Where it's British Columbia again, it's Sinan Bezdrab. Back to Essa. To Borasai. A lot of movement in midfield by British Columbia. We're here right now as we're in the last minute showing on the time clock here at King George V Field here, as it looks like British Columbia will be picking up their second win in as many games in this tournament. Great. This division is very powerful. in the division with Holy Cross, Newfoundland, and Labrador, we have British Columbia, Alberta, Manitoba, and New Brunswick. British Columbia in possession here right now. A number of fans feel the writing is on the wall. Getting ready to or leaving the venue here at King George V Ballpark, where we have Luke O'Shea putting the ball into action, where we have Slaney and Jacob Grant to Jake Warren. Jake Warren going inside the 18, and again it's Shane Satar blocking any attempt for Newfoundland and Labrador to score one goal in this contest. Again, we have Matt Breen moving in for the corner kick. Fans, as you can see, the fans are hitting the bleachers here, warming themselves up, and the fans basically wanting a goal by the Holy Cross team. As we have Matt Breen, nice ball by Breen. Again, it's defense of British Columbia booting the ball as the time clock. Hey, what a beautiful goal here by Jake Warren at the 90-minute mark. What a beautiful goal by Jake Warren. May have come a little too late. Jake Warren scoring at the 90-minute mark for... It was the fans who got the Holy Cross team going, the fans hitting the bleachers, and Jake Warren responded at the 90-minute mark. Nice goal by Jake Warren, lobbing the ball right over goalkeeper Luke O'Shea. Unfortunately for the Newfoundland and Labrador representative, the goal may be a little too late, but who's to say? Yes, we have British Columbia, number 9 again, Milad Mahaibai moving in, and it's a defensive play, which another corner kick coming up for British Columbia. British Columbia, 2 players. Players had to move away from the ball, and you have BC getting possession. Hey, off Holy Cross player Jake Warren. Two to 1. That's the thing in sports. You never say die. But it may be a little too late here as we have a goal kick coming up for Holy Cross. Will we have one more chance? I'm sure every Holy Cross player on the field that can practically move up over the center will, but British Columbia are going to put an end to that as British Columbia take control. And again, it's BC moving inside, and it's number 9 again, Milad Mahaibai shooting wide as Jack Haywood retrieved the ball, and it's a long ball again for Holy Cross. And again, it's the defense of British Columbia putting the ball back into Holy Cross territory. Alec Pretty attempting to go along where it's been blocked by Ajit Beans. Holy Cross. I'd say the temperature has risen here in a matter of moments where the energy of the fans in attendance. But it's British Columbia as we have Shane Henderson going in, cleats up, blocking the British Columbia again, Milad Mahaibai, who's been outstanding in this match. And here it is, a little too late for Holy Cross. Final whistle has blown. And I'll wrap up rather quickly. It's after cooling off here at King George. First of all, I'd like to thank the camera person here, camera lady, for a great job she's doing. And give a quick summary of the contest. It was a 2-1 final. It was a goal coming for British Columbia at the opening goal at the 17-minute mark by Milad Mahaibai, who's been simply outstanding in this contest. Score at the end of the first half, 1-0 for British Columbia. Second half, British Columbia came out strong and struck at the 12-minute mark of the second half, so that'd be the 57-minute mark of the contest, where we had a beautiful goal by Boris Sai, up in the score for British Columbia 2-0. Then in the later stages of the contest, at the 90-minute mark practically, thereabouts, it was just moments. It was on referee's time, and it was Jake Warren striking for Holy Cross, but it was a little too late. Final score, 2-1 for British Columbia, being represented by Central City Breakers FC playing at a Surrey, while it was Holy Cross Kirby Group playing out of St. John's, representing Newfoundland Labrador, going down to defeat for their second loss of this tournament, losing 2-1, and it was British Columbia's second win of the tournament. On behalf of Gord Dunphy, I want to bid you all a nice evening. And as you can check, the website is sportscanada.tv, and you can follow all the action of the 2019 Toyota National Challenge Trophy Jubilee competition. Again, on behalf of Gord Dunphy, I bid you a good evening.